And gentlemen, we are live back once again. Flex Network is rocking and rolling on the airwaves once again. I have managed to fix my technical difficulties. The snowman here is visibly upset for our people who are watching on YouTube or our Facebook Live. Snowman is very upset. Um, I'm not sure why, but Snowman, first of all, how are you? I hope all is well. But I will just pass it over to you because you look like you have some choice words that you might want to say a couple things to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Now we can actually see you
Oh,
this week.
okay.
This is what happens when you have technical difficulties and you just disappear from us. You disappear from the show, and I literally thought it was going to be a riot with you not here. And of course, uh Mr. Matt Beck is, making a comment, our lovely little boss. Did someone hit a sledgehammer? The sledgehammer you last week with the toolbox, a chair? Yes, that's what it feels like with what happened at Hell in a Cell this past Sunday, and I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to save that anger and frustration, especially with Raw, to Thursday. I'm going to suppress it. You keep it buried because I got a toolbox for that shtick, for all that stuff. We'll get to it on Thursday.
But you know what? Let me correct you here, Snowman. You said something that I will just not allow to slip by, okay?
Me?
Yes.
Say
Yes.
something wrong?
Yes.
What?
You know what? You said our boss. Matthew Beck is not my boss. He is my colleague. He is my co-founder of the Flex Network along with myself. He is your boss, for the record. He is your boss.
I ain't got no boss.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're just one of those guys. Okay.
Yeah, let him say it to my face right now.
But anyway,
and then wait 20 minutes. I'm like, no. It's like, sorry, man. I could joke. I gotta have fun with it.
So check out. Look, see, we got Matt all heated up. He's saying, "Here we go," just over here cracking up it through the comments. He just thinks he's hilarious. Anyway, let's get down to business, Snowman. I am back.
Yeah, let's get this right. We are live.
There you go.
We're live on Facebook and we're back on YouTube.
We're doing.
We're like WWE and Fox. We're back. We're back on Fridays.
We're two places at once here, okay? And it feels good to be doing what we do. But I just have to say this: we are back with the SnowMan's top 15 WWE storylines. Okay. Mm-hmm. Tonight we're at number 8. I missed out on number 9 because for whatever reason my computer decided that it was just gonna do its own little reboot and do updates, and then I'm pretty sure you were done casting before my computer even turned back on. I was very upset, and my wife was like literally rubbing the back of my neck because she could tell I was so annoyed because I was very irritated.
Oh, yes. Yes, you missed last week's thanks to technical difficulties with the computer. Exactly. A simple machine. But yes, last week we hit number 9 and we went straight to hell. Armageddon, Sweet Home Alabama 2000, the 6-man Hell in a Cell match. Oh my God. That is the match. I swear to God, I can remember it vividly and praise. That was the best buildup for a December pay-per-view, no less, to end the year. How you cannot fathom you that entire 2000 year. I'm going to get to it further with a couple more when we get down the line. There's some more up and coming, in 2000 down the list, because it's 2000 was awesome, and 2001, whoo, better, because we're going to talk about 2001 right here today.
Yeah. So, I have successfully, I have came back around. I have righted my wrongs in a way. I had a little bit of a heel turn last week.
Yes, you did.
And I was just outside of my element for a little while, but it's okay. I had a week of self-reflection. I'm back. I'm back to my normal self. And tonight we're diving into number 8, right?
Yes, we are.
So
And
lead us into this. What do we got going? Number 8 is going down. We're closing in on the top 5. We're about to get real crazy real soon. Okay.
oh yeah.
So we got to take care
Oh,
of what we got to take care of right now.
so and this is a question for you, Mike. If I was to tell you that number 8 was going to be the culmination of a rivalry 2 years in the making, would you think I'm crazy?
Would I think you're crazy? Well, number 1 is it doesn't really matter what you say. I just think you're crazy anyway. So,
Cuckoo,
yeah.
cuckoo.
So on top of that, I would just say yes because I think you're crazy. I would 2 years in the making, definitely. I would think you're a little bit crazy.
And this will culminate with everything surrounding Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. How excited are you that this episode we're going to cover the final chapters of Triple H and Stone Cold as rivals. Mind you not, as rivals.
Wait, the final chapter?
The final chapter from
Huh.
the 1999 Survivor Series Austin Hit and Run in Detroit at the Survivor Series, all the way through the rehabilitation, the neck surgery, to come back, to go to Unforgiven, where Austin makes his return in 2000, to go to finding out who ran over Stone Cold and Rikishi at the match at No Mercy 2000, to finding out who the accomplice was in Triple H, and a year later at Survivor Series 2000, their one-on-one match where Austin drops Triple H 30 feet from a crane or from a forklift with a car, to the Hell in a Cell. And now the final chapter, the aftermath of Hell in a Cell in 2000, going into 2001. And I'm not going to go any further than that, than the No Way Out 2001, because that leads us into a whole nother can of worms, a whole nother bag that will be later in this show, later for another episode.
You see this comment here, this guy Brandon King right here I work with, he's saying what the heck, or maybe even what the hell. You're blowing his mind right now, dude.
Yes.
He has no idea what is about to happen. You're blowing his mind.
So again, we're going to finish the Austin Triple H rivalry with this episode, and it's going to take us from after Armageddon 2000 into 2001's No Way Out. And if you notice the title, it's No Way Out of 3 Stages of Hell. And the final match, or the pinnacle of this whole rivalry, that build. And I want you guys to go before this is the exclamation point of this. Go and search on YouTube or go on WWE Network. If you still have it, if you're still a subscriber, because I'm going to talk about that on Thursday. Move that to the side. Move that to the side for now. But search No Way Out 2001, Triple H versus Stone Cold promo, and you're going to see everything that has been built and built and built for this one final match. Well, should I say 3 matches? But let's get into this. Let's run down this whole thing. Let's get this going.
Right. So,
Woo!
okay. So let's start here. We're gonna start Raw, January 8th, 2001. We have a WWF Championship match, Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And take us through that match, Snowman. What do we got going on here?
So on the beginning, the very first Raw of the second Raw of the new year, 2001. The final match, the main event of the night, Stone Cold and Kurt Angle. This is Stone Cold's first opportunity at the WWF title since his return to the ring. Actually, sorry, scratch that. I can't say that because he had his opportunity at Hell in a Cell. But this is his first one-on-one opportunity with no Hunter, no Rock, no Rikishi, no Undertaker. It's one-on-one with Kurt Angle. And the match went the rest of the time that they were on the air. And this match was a great match to watch on this January 8th night. And Austin hits the stunner. Austin gets the stunner on Kurt Angle. We all think he's going to win. And when you watch this, you're going to feel the electricity. You're going to feel the excitement around this whole night, or especially at this main event match, because you see Austin, he hits the stunner on Kurt Angle. We think he's going to get the title back. 1, 2, pull out. The rug has been pulled underneath because Triple H has returned from his injuries from the Hell in a Cell match in December. He has not been seen on TV. Apparently, he was having spasms, as described by Mr. McMahon the night after Hell in a Cell the night after Armageddon, and trying to get Mick Foley to resign the following night. But yes, Triple H makes his return, pulls Earl Hebner out of the ring, and gives the look right to Austin. It's like, there's no way in hell you're going to do this. And just knocks out Earl Hebner. Now, you think that would stop there. Triple H costs Austin the title. And he would just be on his merry little way. Oh, no. We get the most intense stare down between two people that hate each other. Like, to the bone. Like, they want blood out of each other so bad that they hate each other. And what you see is just this intense stare down to where Triple H goes up the stairs. Actually, after Austin is like, come here. Get your ass back in the ring. Walks up the stairs, slowly crawls in. They don't miss a beat. They're still eyeball to eyeball, like, pulls off the jacket, and they go straight to town.
And these are the dudes at the time, right? So like you're talking peak Stone Cold, peak Triple H, like
yes.
they're at the height of their game. They're both essentially the top guys. One guy's a heel, one guy's a face. So this is pretty much, like you say, 2 years in the making. This is everything you could possibly ask for. So I'm into this. I'm liking where this is going.
And they fight all the way out to the outside. And you thought Austin was, gaining the upper hand. Triple H suddenly pulls out a steel pipe and just baseball swings for Austin's head and connects. Knock him over the announce table.
Blood everywhere or what?
Well, he comes up and he's busted. He got cut, and Hunter continues the baseball swing on Austin's head. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Gets him on the announce table, starts to choke him, and just, it's like, you better, looking at him like, you better be ready for me because I'm now back. And we end Raw there with Austin bloodied and JR in the background just going, damn it to hell, you son of a bitch.
JR's at this point probably had several strokes on the mic, like losing his mind.
Throughout the entire match, from the beginning of the match to all the way through to the end of Raw, JR is literally having a stroke because, his history with Triple H, be it none, not the best in the world, and it's Austin, one of his best friends. He's like, damn it to hell, you son of a bitch, using that pipe on him to end Raw.
Yeah. So we got a comment here. BK Brandon King says that when is that going down? So we kind of alluded to it when we first started talking about it. So that was Raw, January 8th, 2001. So yes. BK, if you're just kind of now just joining us, what this show is exactly is we're doing a top 15 WWE storylines of all time, and this is number 8 of the top 15, counting up to 1 from 15. So we're at number 8 tonight, and so that's where we're at. So that was Raw. That was Raw, January 8th, 2001. Yep. And so now, are we going to SmackDown, or what do we got here?
Actually, because I'm just going to give the quick version between now and the Royal Rumble, because that's our next point.
Okay.
Basically, after Austin got screwed out of the title shot, Mr. McMahon, who's now back on TV, has ordered a 24-hour cooling off period between Austin and Triple H. Well, Austin, and they're not there that night. Well, Austin's there anyway, raises hell, and basically tells McMahon, or asks him, am I in the Royal Rumble? He's like, yeah. So the following week, we find out that at the Royal Rumble on January 15th, we find out that Triple H is the number 1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Kurt Angle. Now, you kind of feel it's going to be a sneaky, or not really a sneaky, but more, okay, Triple H is now getting the title shot after Austin just got screwed out of the title shot by Triple H. How's that being fair?
Not at all. Ultimate disdain from the fans who don't like to see the heels,
Oh, yeah. So to even add extra motivation for this area, for this time between these two, just to make sure that they don't kill each other, Mr. McMahon has ordered that if Austin and Triple H have any physical altercations between the two of them, there would be severe penalties. If Triple H provokes Austin in any way, gets physical with him, throws the first punch, essentially, he will lose his opportunity at the World Wrestling Federation title at the Royal Rumble. And if Austin provokes Triple H in any way, then Austin will be out of the Rumble match. So that's going to be, that's really kind of hard there between these two who hate each other to not do anything, not come into contact. So for those couple weeks between that, from January 15th, leading up to the Royal Rumble the following weekend, or that coming weekend, they couldn't touch each other on Raw or SmackDown. So now we get
which is a main problem for those two types of guys specifically, because if they had it their way, they'd probably just be beating the snot out of each other every episode of Raw and SmackDown all the way to the pay-per-view, right?
Oh yeah. And I highly recommend you guys go and watch January 15th Raw. Just the trying of Triple H so hard at the end of the night, trying to get Austin to provoke. Good God. I don't know how Austin did not kill him, did not try to do anything. But moving on, because we're going to go straight into the Royal Rumble itself.
Okay.
2001's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so that's January. So that Raw that we led with was the beginning of the month, January 8th. This Royal Rumble is January 21st of the same year, 2001. We
In
have
in
in,
New Orleans, Louisiana.
I believe
Bourbon
it's,
Street, baby.
pronounced Nolans.
New Orleans, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was down there at the Cajun Dome.
Right. So we have the WWF Championship match, Kurt Angle versus Triple H. And so let's go through that match. What we got?
Awesome match to watch. It was, you got, in this situation, you had Kurt Angle with Trish Stratus in his corner.
No distraction there. Trish Stratus has never distracted a single male in her life. She has nothing that has ever distracted a man ever.
Well, that's why there's always guaranteed 100% satisfaction, baby. Oh yeah. But it gets better. Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley in his corner.
Also never distracted a man in her life.
Nope.
Never once. Never once.
Never in her life being a McMahon.
Right. Only Triple H, I guess.
But at this time frame, Steph and Trish are kind of going at butting heads big time, to a point where it's very bad. Go back and watch this time frame between in January through No Way Out, because you're going to see Trish Stratus in all of her glory going up against Stephanie McMahon, and eventually their first encounter later at No Way Out.
So what do you mean by all of her glory? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you got to remember, Trish Stratus around this time was just a manager. So she wasn't doing what she would be eventually becoming in a 7-time women's champion. So this was still early Trish Stratus, getting her foot in the door with wrestling per se, just wrestling, getting in the ring. And her first real test, besides what was happening in 2000 with her and Lita and the Hardy Boys and everything, was by herself, Stephanie McMahon.
Okay, you see these eyes here? When you said all her glory, I was judging you a little bit.
You're thinking bra and panties and stuff like that, because this is what the era of bra and panty matches.
Yeah, this is the Attitude Era. That's when matches. All that went.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
I get you.
So,
but you got the parallel combustible elements outside the ring with Trish and Steph. And you've got Kurt Angle and Triple H, who are still not liking each other from their previous engagements from 2000 with the triangle, the love triangle scenario between Kurt, Triple H, and Steph. So that's explosive on its own. And this Kurt Angle has now is more ruthless. He's more conniving. He's just more vicious now than he was back in 2000 in the summer.
Because he's bald. Because he's bald. That's why.
Not yet.
This isn't bald Kurt Angle?
Nope. This is not bald Kurt Angle. This is still hair and everyththing. That doesn't happen until 2002.
Oh, okay. I'm a
year early. 2002.
I'm a year Edge. Early. Okay.
So, but that's down the line. All right. This match was a good match. Or actually, it was a great match to watch. These guys went at it, bar none. Trish and Steph got into it. Vince had to come out and separate the two and carry Trish back to the locker room. And Steph followed suit, wanting a piece of Trish. So they got into it. Back in the ring, Earl Hebner's down, knocked out. We thinking Triple H is, going to get his best friend in the world, the Sledge. Well, out comes Austin, proceeds to hit him with the title belt, stun him, and leave him flat for a very groggy Kurt Angle to put his arm over him. And referee Earl Hebner, 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
And Kurt Angle is still your World Wrestling Federation champion.
oh, tough.
So now Austin has just cost Triple H that same piece of gold that Triple H screwed Austin out of prior at the beginning of the month. Payback is a bitch.
Exactly.
So now, this was, and of course, this was the title match. What do we still have left in the night?
The Royal Rumble itself, correct?
Yep. The biggest, actually, not, I can't say the biggest. I'm going to say the best Royal Rumble in history. This is the Rumble that not only did we have a very funny, fun appearance of the Honky Tonk Man, a funny appearance of a comic by the name of Drew Carey.
Yes. Oh, that's all-time classic. I love that one.
And the most eliminations, the record of 11 men by the Big Red Machine Kane.
Okay, so time out. Let me ask you this question real quick. Just a tiny little sidetrack. So Drew Carey gets in this Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Is Drew Carey he gets face to face with Kane, right? And he sees Kane and was like, wow, that guy's really big and tall and strong, and I'm short and chubby and not athletic. So does he jump back over the top rope and eliminate?
No.
Oh, okay.
First of all, because the Hardy Boys started the Rumble. They were 1-2.
Okay.
Actually, no, not 1-2. Actually, yeah, they were 1-2 this year. They started off the Rumble, and then other superstars came in and everything. When Drew Carey got into the Rumble, he was, he came out just, like high-fiving, because he was there just to get advice from Vince McMahon about how to do a pay-per-view of, advice, stuff like that, because he was having a pay-per-view coming up with his Improv 2 comedy show that he was coming up promoting. So he figured he'd just come there to promote. Well, he got thrown to the Rumble. So he, goes, around the ring, high-fiving people, and waits for the Hardy Boys to eliminate themselves. Gets in the ring, he's like, yeah, hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah. Countdown goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flames, and here comes Kane. And you can just see the look on Drew Carey's face, like, went from, oh, yeah, to, oh, shit.
Yeah, that guy. Guy's 7 feet tall, and he's most likely gonna kill me.
So he just like, okay. It's like, okay, let's see how much money I got. It's like, here, have some money. Please don't kill me. Here's some money. Bribes him. Kane doesn't want his money. And they they buy enough time for the buzzer to go off again. Another, I think it was another 90 seconds. 90 to 60 seconds for this Royal Rumble time frame. And out comes Raven. And he gets into it with Kane. And he's bringing the hardcore stuff into this match. Trash cans, steel chairs, everything that he gets it on with Kane, and Drew Carey, who's got caught in the choke slam, was about to get raised up when Raven came in and saved him. He proceeds to hop over the rope and hop on the floor. It's like, yeah, see ya, I'm getting out.
That was when Drew Carey was still a little bit chubby too, and so he wasn't like the skinny version that we know now.
Oh yeah,
so.
He was still a little fluffy, but
yeah.
But go and watch this Royal Rumble. One of the best Rumbles of all time. It's the most star-studded one. Period. Undertaker, right. Kane, Rock, Rikishi, well, the one Billy Gunn, the Hardys. You pretty much have the A-list talent of 2001 in here, the apex of the roster, the
Right.
best roster in this Royal Rumble. So we get to later in the match. Austin has drawn number 27. As he's making his way down to the ring, Triple H comes out and starts getting payback on him, to the point he has busted Austin open, dragged him to the side of the Titantron and just started wailing on him, just destroying him and leaving him bloody. Now, he's not out of the Rumble yet. He's not. He hasn't made it into the Rumble, so he's still a participant.
Okay.
And we get through all the way down to number 30, which was Rikishi. He gets the ring, and before he gets in the ring, here comes Austin. He's now going to town. Gets in the ring, and we get everything down. It's Austin survives everything. We get down to the final two, and around like the final four was Rikishi, Kane, and The Rock. Four of the big names.
Oh, yeah.
And then it eventually gets down to the final two in Austin and Kane. And Kane, who is now getting the record of the most eliminations in a Royal Rumble, needs one more to have 12 and to have an opportunity at WrestleMania. And we get this a bloodied Austin who's swinging chairs at this big red bastard, just chair after chair, just trying to get him out. And we get the iconic moment of just boom, Kane on the ropes, and he gets hit with the chair on the upside the head, and he falls over. And Austin has won the 2001 Royal Rumble match and has now been guaranteed the number one contendership at WrestleMania X7, WrestleMania 17. This was the Rumble, period, that set up the second part of the greatest WrestleMania. Actually, was part of one of the best WrestleManias, bar none.
So this this type of Royal Rumble with all of those things going on in the throughout the Royal Rumble match itself. This is one of those things that makes me love the Royal Rumble so much. So Royal Rumble is so unique just because the match itself is so entertaining, but this makes you just really, really like the Royal Rumble. Hold on, we'll get
Royal Rumble.
We'll get to that in a second. Hold on, real quick. But I'm just saying that like everyone loves WrestleMania because that's the Super Bowl of wrestling, right? Like for obvious reasons, people love that. They love SummerSlam because it's like, it's this summer showcase, all that.
It's the summer's party. It's the biggest party of the summer.
But the Royal Rumble is great because of that. But now I want to like anyone who's watching or listening to give you a reason why you should love Royal Rumble, and especially this year.
Speaking of Royal Rumble. There's your segue. There's what I was trying to give you a segue into this.
I already had the segue. You're like,
I know.
Okay, so here I'm gonna flash this comment up here for our viewers. Essentially, you have 30 entrants, and we have 30 spots. So each spot will be randomized by name. If your name gets drawn first, then you have the first entrant as your guy. If whoever you draw wins the Royal Rumble, you win the prize. And the prize, of course, is a Bret the Hitman Hart 8x10 autographed photo. So that is
the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
So that is totally worth it just for participating in that. And just so you guys know, we will be live streaming the Royal Rumble viewing party and be randomizing the names at the start of the 10-second countdown each round. So we're just trying to make it just a little bit more exciting.
We might want to have some clarification of which Royal Rumble match, because now there's two. We have the women and we have the men.
Well,
we better make sure we get some clarification, because I know someone's going to come up when we get to Royal Rumble weekend and like, okay, well, which Royal Rumble is it? Are we talking the women's Rumble? Are we talking the men's Rumble? So let's get the clarification down now.
Well, this is going to be for the men's Rumble. This will be for the men's Rumble.
I had to make you say it, because there's someone out there that's going to be feeling like, well, we just had the women's Royal Rumble. We just had the men's Royal Rumble. Why are we doing the contest there? I just had to make sure we got that out of the way and set in stone that it's the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we got that. So we're rocking and rolling. So anyway, yeah, entertaining Royal Rumble. Just Royal Rumbles like that is what really draws you to professional wrestling and to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself. So
it's the road to WrestleMania, the start of the road to WrestleMania, and the culmination of the year, the wrestling year. It's everything.
Okay, so our next point is Raw, January 29th, 2001. But I believe you had a couple things here that you wanted to run through before we get to that Raw, correct?
Correct. So now that we know who the number one contender, who the winner of the Royal Rumble is, and we'll get the guaranteed title shot at WrestleMania in Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, the next night, Triple H is proceeding to vent his frustrations and wanting Austin like so bad.
Right.
Very, very bad. That he's just he cannot wait for him. And we later in the he gets one. Sorry, I'm stuttering so much because this is such a awesome show, and I want to get this right.
It's okay.
I'm stumbling over words.
Yeah, it's because you're so excited about it. People can tell that you're excited, but go ahead, continue, jump on it.
But basically, for the next couple weeks, or actually for the Raw and the SmackDown, it's Triple H looking for Austin. He wants him so bad he can't stand it. And of course, every time Austin one-ups Triple H and proceeds to get him every single time. He'd be here, Triple H would be there, Austin wouldn't be there. He'd be basically Houdini and just disappearing at the last second to try to avoid Triple H.
Right.
So we get to January 29th, Raw, 2001. And we're now going to have a contract signing between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin for a match at No Way Out.
That's only asking for trouble.
It's a contract signing in wrestling. What can possibly go wrong?
Yeah, the contract signings are always like they're like, we're gonna remain civil, but the only reason we're having a contract signing is so that you guys can sign the contract, but we can already have tables in the ring to put each other through.
It's pretty much like, yeah, we're gonna be good boys, but then right behind their back, they're like, they're crossing their fingers like, I'm lying.
Right. They're both lying at the same time.
But this one's going to be a slight different because there's an extra additive. Like we had before the Royal Rumble, there is going to be a certain caveat in the contract between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin that there is to be no physical altercation or a acts of aggression between the two, from once they sign the contract on the January 29th edition of Raw until No Way Out. And the penalty for both individuals, no matter who does it. So no matter who starts it doesn't matter if Austin starts it, if Triple H starts it. If there's any act of aggression or physical altercation, the penalty would be career suicide. Because for Triple H would be an automatic 6-month suspension. And for Stone Cold, he would be out of the main event of WrestleMania 17. He will lose his opportunity for the World Wrestling Federation title.
That's awful.
That's
horrible.
Like I said, that is career suicide.
It's horrible for both of them, really, because they you know, like we had mentioned before, they both just kind of want to just beat the snot out of each other.
They want to kill each other.
Right.
So, of course, we get to the contract signing. You know, Austin signs first, and you could see the hatred on both their faces. With McMahon in the middle, Austin signs the contract. Slides on over to Triple H. And of course, Triple H, who has his wife and an attorney present, it's like, okay, we're going to go over here and talk, you know. It's like, okay. Okay. It's like, just sign. And Austin, of course, poking at Triple H. It's like, sign the damn contract.
Right.
So, in Triple H fashion, we get sign the contract. Mr. McMahon gets the contract. It's like, okay, it's official. At No Way Out, Triple H will face Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just as Austin turns away to leave, because now there's no physical altercation, Triple H grabs a metal briefcase that's in there, holding the contract, and proceeds to bash Austin right upside the head and proceeds to go to town on Austin.
So now he's suspended for 6 months.
Oh, yeah. After pedigreeing Austin, McMahon's getting on the mic. It's like, congratulations, pal. You just been suspended for 6 months, pal. It's like, hey, Hunter, before I reveal this part, what is Triple H's nickname for this moment? Because he's had many nicknames, but he's been dubbed the Cerebral Assassin and a student of the game. In Triple H beautiful fashion of being the most hated person at this time, it's like, I'm not suspended for 6 months because I never signed. I never signed the contract.
So he's not held liable for beating the snot out of Austin. Okay.
Nope. And then proceeds to sign. And you can see his signature now being added to the contract. And of course, in Triple H beautiful fashion, just stands over Austin. It's like, Austin 316, huh? Well, guess what? Paragraph 316 says you can't touch me, boy.
So he got a fast one on him. He snuck a fast one on him.
Oh, yes. Yes, he did. He got a hell of a fast one over on Austin. And it's just got to be like adding just more fuel to this fire. And it was so beautifully done. So now we're going to go. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about the following SmackDown, just a small bit, because we had SmackDown Extreme on February 1st. This one's an awesome event to go and watch on the network, because this entire SmackDown card was extreme. There was no holds barred, no disqualification matches, first blood tag team match, and a no disqualification triple threat World Wrestling Federation title match. Go and watch that. Awesome. I just want to talk about that one SmackDown because it was a good SmackDown.
Right.
So I'm going to skip ahead to, we're going to get right to SmackDown February 15th, 2001. And Triple H has the opportunity to name the type of match that these two men will have. Thanks to in part from the previous Raw on February's 12th edition of Raw, where Rikishi and The Rock had a match to determine who would be getting the opportunity to name the stipulation. If Rikishi won, Stone Cold would get the opportunity. If The Rock won, Triple H would get to name the stipulation.
So they each had a wrestler as a representative.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and I'm not going to get into full detail about that. You could go and watch that episode of Raw, February 12th.
Right.
It was a good match. I'll give it that. So, because The Rock won, obviously I'm with Triple H having the opportunity to select the match. He decides he doesn't just want to beat Austin in one match. Let's just okay. Yeah, I could beat you. Not 3 ways to Sunday, and that mindset, at least for me. So he's gonna say, "I want to face you 2 out of 3 falls. The first fall, I'm gonna break your spirit because we're gonna go 1-on-1, straight up wrestling match. No, everything's regular wrestling match. The second fall, I'm going to break your bones. The second fall, street fight.
Good old street fight.
Oh, yes. No disqualification, no countouts, no holds barred. That's just straight up street fight. Weapons allowed. But if it gets to the third fall, there will be truly no way out. Because if it goes to the third fall, we're going to have ourselves a 15-foot high steel cage lowered. And we're going to have a cage match.
An old-fashioned mugging inside of a cage, huh?
Oh, yes. A good old-fashioned cage. Steel cage. And this was a hell of a way to announce, Triple H, just gloating on and on, how he's going to beat Austin and how they're going to finish this. Well, later in the night, Triple H or Stone Cold is going to face off against Chris Benoit.
Benoit.
Yes, the name that he must not be said name for obvious reasons, but I still say it because I liked him. He was a hell of one of the best damn technical wrestlers ever.
Right. You're totally right about that. I think they have gotten the WWE has gotten a lot better with that over time about saying his name, and it's one of those things that time has healed that wound a little bit, but they still love the guy but don't really forgive or
acknowledge him.
Acknowledge him as far as like Hall of Fame or any of that type of stuff. So
yep. So Austin wins his match against Chris Benoit, even with Hunter's appearance at ringside. Just to add a little bit more fuel to that fire.
Right.
Well, Triple H later in the night, main event, has a match with The Rock. And just as The Rock is going to win his match, we get an appearance from Kurt Angle. And we also get another appearance from Stone Cold, trying to help go after Kurt Angle because he can't touch Hunter. He can't touch him with this no contact clause. But we also get Chris Benoit coming out and attacking Austin, wanting payback from earlier in the night. And he does get his payback because he locks in the crossface. Kurt Angle has the ankle lock on The Rock. And the only one left is Triple H. Where's he at? Well, he's just going to come on in and gloat a little bit by pouring some beer on old Stone Cold's face on the top of his head while he's in the crossface.
Which under any other type of circumstance, Austin might like. If he wasn't in the crossface, he might enjoy beer.
Oh no, he wouldn't enjoy. He was not going to be enjoying that beer as he was just getting it poured straight on his head.
Right.
So that was just more gasoline on this fire. and it's not pretty, especially this close to No Way Out. So you got to think, there's got to be some retribution, some way to get some kind of reaction out of Triple H. Well, funny we speak of that because we're going to go right into the Raw. The following Raw, February 19th, 2001. Now, like I said before with Stephanie and Trish Stratus, they're going to have a match at No Way Out upcoming. Well, Steph feeling a little antsy tonight. And she wants Trish before their mixed tag team match later in the night between herself and Triple H versus Trish and William Regal.
That's funny.
And proceeds to like call her out. It's like poke the bear a little bit more. Well, in process of poking the bear a little bit more, also decided to poke at Austin again. And that angry rattlesnake. Well, be careful what you do because you just may get it. Because out comes Austin. And as wound up tight as this rattlesnake is, you would think someone as smart as Stephanie McMahon and knows how tight wound up Austin is, you would think not to poke at Austin at all.
You would think.
Oh, yeah. You would think. But of course, Austin, coming out, it's like, I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thank you for running your mouth and showing those clips of what's been happening to me and with your husband and me. And since I can't touch your mealy mouth husband, old Stone Cold figured he'd come out here and give you a present right from the bottom of my heart, and proceeds to stun Stephanie McMahon.
I can't touch Triple H, but I could stun his wife, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
And the eruption from this crowd, holy hell. You talk about the legendary LOD pop. This one blew the roof off.
Right.
Because not only did Steffi get stunned, but you got an enraged Hunter beelining it for the ring. And he has officially blown a gasket. And as Austin just rolls out of the ring, and you get to see, just this iconic moment of Austin just looking down at the ring, and the Titantron behind him is having Triple H just in this fit of rage, just it was beautiful. Go and watch this one episode, and it's like, good God.
He was like kicking the ropes and like grabbing the ropes, shaking it, and he was just mad because he couldn't really do anything.
He can't touch Austin. It would be career suicide.
Yeah, that's funny.
A 6-month suspension this close to No Way Out. Literally 6 days before No Way Out, and he's gonna blow a gasket this close.
Right. Okay, so that let's see here. So he stuns Stephanie, right?
Right.
And then so Triple H is losing his mind. So then we have The Rock and Stone Cold versus.
We get a tag team match at the end of the night with The Rock and Stone Cold taking on Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit.
Okay.
Now Hunter's is already out there. He's doing commentary, and he tries to distract Austin. He's trying to get him to provoke him. He's on the ropes later in the match. Chris Benoit sees a distracted rattlesnake, wants to go at him with the WWF title. Austin can sense it in the back because here comes Benoit. Austin moves, hits Hunter. Hunter, knocked off the apron, gets rock bottomed by The Rock. Chris Benoit gets rock bottomed. and the match is over. And at the end, you see Kurt Angle and The Rock, jawing at each other because they're going to have their World Wrestling Federation title match at No Way Out. The Rock and Kurt Angle. And then you have on the apron again, Austin and Triple H jawing at each other because they can't touch each other. And that's how they end the 19th edition of Raw, the February 19th edition of Monday Night Raw. So now we get to No Way Out, February 25th, 2001. And the culmination of this heated rivalry, 2 years in the making.
So that was the anticipation was high, obviously. So the 3 stages of Hell match that we mentioned earlier. So the first fall being a normal match, the second fall being a street fight, and the third fall being a steel cage match. Okay,
if necessary.
So, if necessary, of course. So take us through the first fall.
The first fall, I'm going to stretch, and I cannot think of the word for this moment because I stress this enough. Go and watch this match on the network, or if you're able to on YouTube, if they have it, chopped it up and someone hasn't made a highlight reel of it. But go and watch the whole match. It's awesome. The first fall in this regular one-on-one match that Triple H thought he was going to beat him and break his spirit. Didn't happen. Austin hits the stunner, and this is a good first fall. Hits the stunner and gets the first victory in this 2 out of 3 falls match. So Austin's now up 1. We go into the second fall, a street fight. And this is where the shit hits the fan. Because now we're getting steel chairs, we're getting sledgehammers, we're getting chairs, we're getting a lovely, lovely reminder from the former commissioner in Cactus Jack, in a barbed wire wrapped 2x4 makes an appearance. Hiding underneath the announce desk, and Triple H pulls it out. It's like, just see it. It's like, oh, hello. And JR and Kate are like losing it. It's like, did you hide that under there? What's this doing here under here? It's like, I didn't put that there. Damn it.
The ultimate sellers. They're selling as much as they could sell in that moment.
It's like, I did not put that down here. It's like, you're trying to help Austin out. It's like, no. But of course, it gets used by both men. Both men are now busted open and bleeding. Might I add, just busted open, bleeding like stuffed pigs. And Triple H wins the second fall. So now we are tied 2-2 or 1-1.
Bring on the cage.
Bring it down. And these two guys are exhausted and bloodied at this point. But you would think Earl Hebner would, let's get rid of the weapons. Let's get rid of the chair, the 2x4 and the sledgehammer. Nope. They stayed in the cage because as soon as that cage dropped, we were right back at it. Austin and Triple H launching each other into the cage, just beating each other to a bloody pulp. Austin grabs the barbed wire 2x4. Hunter grabs the sledge. Both nail each other with their respective objects. But of course, Hunter falls on top of Austin in a dead heap and proceeds to cover him for the 1, 2, 3.
No! Boo!
And your winner, 2 out of 3 falls. 2 falls to 1, Triple H. Ending their storied history and putting the exclamation point on this rivalry.
Tough one.
And you know what? After this, you kind of need to sig. Just good God, this rivalry was intense and wow. And to not only end that rivalry, but to where these guys were going after this match, with Triple H going off to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania 17, and then Austin and Rock Part 2 at WrestleMania 17. I'm going to stop right there because that I will guarantee you is on the list. But I'm not going to get into it tonight.
Let's say don't give away any secrets here. We can't be
No,
having
no,
all
no,
that.
no, 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 no. That's for another day. That is
Yeah.
a whole nother bag, and we're not opening it up here because we kind of reached the time limit that we are going to allow ourselves for tonight.
Right. So we have officially wrapped up number 8
and we've got another 2 hours. Woohoo! Party.
Right. So, okay. So we wrapped up the 3 stages of Hell match at No Way Out, February 25th, 2001. Triple H wins, as we said. So that wraps up number 8. Snowman, so you do this every week, okay? So give us a hint for what number 7 is. I know you got something tucked away in your brain. I need a hint for number 7.
Number 7. Well, let me see if I can bring up the old list on the old computer. Just because I gotta have all this typed out. Because you gotta think 15 is, you gotta put it down on paper.
Yeah, that's a lot of information. So,
yeah. Well, here's what I'm gonna do, because I know after we get done with the final one, we gotta think that there's gotta be more. We gotta do more lists. So I'm actually gonna do something for the people here on Facebook and YouTube, that if you tweet at us on, let me bring up our lovely little, our hashtag, our lovely little @ for Twitter at the Flex Network _PW Elite. And I'm going between 2 different separate lists for next time, for our next top 15 lists.
Okay.
And just to give a general idea, one list will be for our next, series of lists. Top 15 pay-per-views.
Oh, that one could be pretty interesting.
And I'm not talking about one match in general. I'm talking the entire card. Where we're not going to go through every single match, but we're going to, this is the top 15 of just the pay-per-view itself, the build around it, and the matches itself. We'll talk about the main event. If it's a semi-main event, we'll get into that. But we will top 15 pay-per-views. Number 2 will be top 15. Let's go pay-per-view themes of all time.
Okay.
So the theme song to the pay-per-view itself. And trust me when I say this, I have every single pay-per-view theme.
You know what? There's something about that with most people, I would feel like they're absolutely insane and be like every single one. But with you, I'm like, of course you do. That just makes sense. It makes complete sense that you have that.
From just the basic of WrestleMania 1, the very first WrestleMania, of it just being, and mind you, it was Phil Collins and doing the song, which was good, all the way to current and the recent Hell in a Cell.
Okay, so
of Chris Classic, and Here We Go. So that's a big list. About 451.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, but for that, we're gonna be like, okay, top 15. So, what really helped hype up the pay-per-view itself for you, for us in general, was like Survivor Series 2000 and I have to remember. I want to get the exact one for this because Survivor Series, like 2014, with the uh shoot, yes, 2014 with Nickelback.
Oh,
That,
Nickelback, boo, Nickelback, boo, boo,
no,
Nickelback.
hold on, time out. The theme for that was awesome with Revolution, because it was Team Cena versus Team Authority. If Team Authority lost, then Triple H and Stephanie would be gone, out of
Right.
power. And this was the introduction night of Sting to WWE.
Right.
So,
So
so just the build, like something that was used in the card, like the theme song. So I will get to it more when we do when we if we cross that bridge. But for tonight, I think we've reached the end. But
right.
but,
So
but
let
the final to answer your question before, I think we're gonna go back to 1999 and go a little bit darker between Austin and The Undertaker.
oh,
I'm
okay.
leaving with maybe a little
Yeah.
bit of interference of not really interference, but more of an inclusion of the boss. I'm gonna leave it there. Michael, take us home
Okay. So
before I say anything else.
I assume you're not talking about you're not talking about Sasha Banks, the boss. No, so just a couple of housekeeping things here. Just like Snow said, if you are the professional wrestling type and you want to follow the professional wrestling content on Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter at FlexNet_PW Elite. That is a place to find your wrestling content associated with the Flex Network. And then also, if you just want to follow the Flex Network on Twitter, and we're talking fantasy football, NFL, and just anything else, at the Flex Network one on Twitter, you can follow. Let me take this off here. You can follow me at I'm on Twitter at mbwalters11. Snowman is at his personal account is AJS Dead Snow on Twitter. Couple other things. Tomorrow's Wednesday, correct? Yep.
Yes.
So tomorrow night I will be on here live. We will be recapping this past week's NFL. What happened in the world of the NFL? Maybe a specific team that I happen to be a fan of pulled out a W on Thursday night against the Rams. Maybe they did.
Hey. Time out. That we are fans of. Come on.
Okay. Well, you're over there wearing some Anaheim garbage, so I
I'm
never
wearing
know.
hockey. I'm in hockey gear right now. But yes, I
Okay.
am a Seahawk.
Right. So we will be talking tomorrow night. So if anyone has any questions, they could hop on there tomorrow night, same time. And then, we're going to be getting into our fantasy football, or sorry, actually Thursday, the Snowman will be back running a solo gig. He'll be giving you the state of wrestling. And listen, Snow, I don't want you to say anything because you need to save it for tomorrow. Okay. Snow is very upset about Thursday. You need to save it for Thursday. Snow is very upset about some things and he needs to get it off his chest. So if you want to hear what he's got to say, you can tune in on Thursday.
I'm gonna need a hard liquor for that.
Right. Thursday midday, he'll have all of that for you. He'll be there. He'll be talking wrestling. So, and then we get into Friday and the weekend and everything, and we'll have all of our fantasy football content from Flex Finder podcast to your start sit Sunday morning, so you know who to play and who not to play Sunday morning if you're trying to dominate your leagues, win your leagues, all that good stuff. And so those guys will be on the Flex Network. So just make sure that you are tuned in to the Flex Network channel. You can find us on Facebook. Just search Flex Network and we will pop up. We are on YouTube as well, Flex Network. Search us there. We're on everything, okay? But what we need any viewers or listeners to check out is find us on Apple Podcasts, find us on Spotify, find us on any podcasting platform that you're using. Give us a like. Give us a like, a subscribe, rate us. Even if you don't like us, rate us. I prefer that you give us 5 stars, but give us a rating. The more 5 stars we get, the better it is going to be for other people to see us. So for everyone out there who is downloading our podcast and stuff, we greatly appreciate that. And you guys have been a great help. So, Snowman, any closing statements?
Oh, closing statement would be just thank you guys for joining us here on Facebook and with us being back on YouTube, because now we are now able to do simultaneous broadcasts on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So now we are able to join back up with the football content that we have on YouTube and not just be solely on Facebook. But it's good to be back on YouTube. I kind of missed it. It was nice and roomy.
Yeah, nice and roomy. Okay.
But of course, thank you guys for coming and joining this fun trip with us. Mike, take us out.
All right. So as for the Snowman and myself, we will catch you guys later. Peace.